Hi guys, welcome to Super Met. So today, got something very special for you. I'm with a beautiful Ferrari F355 Berlinetta. So it is a 1997 355. It's got a V8 engine, 3.5 litre, naturally aspirated. This, in my mind, is probably the prettiest Ferrari that's ever been built. Now there's obviously faster cars out there, but this is something really special. Now you've got to think this was designed in the 90s. This isn't a 2020 sort of F12 or something like that. It's a completely different ilk of machine. Now it's had a few mods done to it. Engine's all been sorted out. It's got a new clutch. Just down here you can see, maybe if you can see, just down there it's got airlift suspension. So that is why she's sitting so low on the floor. It's got some rotiform wheels, which are obviously split rim. Tyres are same size. The rim is actually slightly larger, and so it obviously pulls the tyre, gives it that really nice look. Slammed down to the floor on airbags at the moment. Standard brakes, standard calipers. Interior is pretty much as it was, except for a couple of little extra gizmos which are now in. So if we have a look on the inside, obviously you've got a new steering wheel, so you've got the new Momo wheel. Original gauge cluster on the inside, and then you can see down here you've got a flip out Pioneer head unit which has now got Apple CarPlay on it. Now just below it you've got the airlift system which allows you to raise your suspension and put it up and down. The amazing, talked about and renowned 6-speed gated shifter, which is what this car is all about. Short throw on the clutch, very mechanical feel, beautiful car to drive. I haven't personally driven one of these for, I reckon, 20 years, when I was originally in Colchester at Ferrari. So this is totally original. Nothing has happened on this interior at all, and it is an absolute stunner. So we're going to take it off. We're going to have a bit of a drive around. We're going to see if we can get some footage, and we'd like to obviously get noise of this thing. It's got a Capristo exhaust, and it has it does have the valve to open up the exhaust, which you can see just down here. And we'll have some fun in it. So stay tuned. So the Ferrari, how fast is it? What a great car. I love it. Okay, we'll turn that off.
Are you ready?
And so what is the next one? Whenever we go out in a car, you tell me the car you want to buy.
The next one?
Yeah, what's the next? We'll do the tunnel first, then you can tell me. Okay, let's see how the sound goes on this one. So good. Did you see the Porsche?
Yeah.
I saw the lights and I thought, I know what that is. He just can't do that. Yeah. We knew he'd come down the side. It's just got such a naughty noise, hasn't it? I mean, it's not even. Oh, yeah. It's just, but it's like a symphony. It's an angry.
It goes on and on and on.
It does, but they're just like pissed off angels.
Yeah. It is crazy. I never, thought driving the Porsche. When that got over 4,000 revs, it was fun. And, this just gets over 4,000 revs and it just keeps on going.
RS3. All the cars are out today. She sits flat, doesn't she? I mean, how flat was it with the original suspension?
I mean, it sits a good, probably 5 inches, if not more, higher than it is now.
Okay.
So it's quite, it's that old 90s styling. You didn't have the wheel to arch ratio sorted, right?
Yeah, of course.
It was done in a way that's got this way.
Yep. Yeah, you're fine. Sorry. It's just the way it makes you feel, isn't it? It's the gear change and it's instant power. There's no turbo. It's just natural.
Natural aspirated engine. V8 how? Just no other cars used to do this sound.
And you definitely can't hear your stereo.
Oh, no, you can't hear stereo.
I mean, this is just beautiful. Nice analog gauges. I don't see anything digital. I mean, I see this, obviously. This has been put in because Chris basically wanted to have Bluetooth and a few modern creature comforts. I completely get it. He can listen to his music in here if he's got the engine off, and he's got to wait for somebody, or he's in a Ferrari, or if he's broken down, of course, but hopefully that won't be the case.
It's only happened a few times.
A few times, okay. And how long have you owned it?
1 year.
1 year exactly. And how many breakdowns?
First breakdown was I couldn't start the car.
Right.
That was the classic. I was close to a mobile phone mast and it interferes with the immobilizer.
Wow. Of course, old school immobilizer.
Yeah.
And have you still got that on?
Yeah.
You still have an immobilizer, yeah.
But I've learnt a trick now. If that does happen again,
okay.
There's a point at the back of your seat.
Yeah.
If you put the remote there, that is the best.
That's like maybe the aerial.
Yeah, exactly right.
Amazing.
So that works. And then the other time I broke down was when the belt tensioner went.
Yeah, which you said.
So
yeah, but that was a lucky save, really. I mean, I don't think I'd call that a
very.
breakdown. That was almost like a service item. You were.
Yeah.
She was telling you.
Yeah.
And so this is the 6-speed, very special gated gearbox. Obviously, most Ferraris now have paddles up on the steering wheel or automatic. So this really is the last gen. And the 456, I think, was that later? The 456 was after.
Yeah, yes, because after this is the 360.
Yeah, and then it went to the
F430.
Yeah, and then they had problems though with their clutches, didn't they? I mean, if you launched those, you were replacing a clutch in it.
Whereas, this is still in that very analog stage.
Yeah.
Very, very raw. So even the standard car is pretty raw, but as this car has the full performance type modified exhaust system on it, gives you that howl.
And do you drive with the window down normally?
Always.
Always. Snow, rain.
Always. It actually does get quite hot in here. It does have aircon, but
not that good.
It's not that good.
And under your screen, you've got the gauges under your screen still, haven't you?
Yeah.
So that just flips back. Yeah. So you just got your standardised gauges.
Yeah. So you can see how Hox is running.
Yeah, 210.
210. And that's a standard heat.
And then this is the airlift suspension. So does this vary? I can see it sort of changing slightly.
Yeah, it has sensors in it. So it's constantly measuring the height of the car, where it is. So with you getting in the car, it would have adjusted it and put it slightly different, just because obviously added your weight into the mix.
Okay. So when it says 112 and you've got 109 on your side, that says I need to go to the gym, doesn't it? Can't believe it.
But it's also, it's reading the road level, it's keeping the car level.
Right, okay. Really nice system. And what does something like this cost?
The management is about £1,500.
Yeah.
You then got the installation of it because of the sensors. It's a little bit more complex.
And you didn't do that, did you? You
No.
got somebody to put it in.
No, I had car audio security do it.
Okay.
Really good guys. And they just helped me kind of build the car as I wanted it.
Okay.
And that was the biggest thing.
And so did they do all? They did all the work on it. Did they do the leather work as well?
Yep.
They did.
Yep.
And did they sort of 3D print this out underneath?
I'm not quite sure how they made it on.
Yeah.
But it's a frame. Which they then kind of created the unit for, and it's actually fitted on all the original brackets, so there's no holes been put in.
Amazing. So you can just go straight back to standard if you need to.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, even when you're doing 30 miles an hour and you boot it to 40, it just sounds like you're doing 140.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic.
I mean, it's all theatre, this car. A huge amount of drama in it, whatever you're doing. I mean, the only thing I don't like is, as you heard, even just idling, sitting there, the noise is a bit too much.
And the valve, so the valve you've got on this, so it's a Capristo exhaust pipe at the back, and are the headers Capristo as well?
No, so they're tubey style.
Okay, so tubey headers, and because the 355, I believe, is prone to cracking its headers, so it's a really good idea to change those. the valve that you put in, you can open and close.
I could do if I added an extra remote control to it, but...
So this is working on revolutions of the engine, so when it gets to a certain amount, 4,000 revs, it opens up and obviously gives you the scream that we all know and love.
Which is great.
And it is louder, for sure.
It is loud, so, you know, look, I mean, it's open now, you know, it starts to come off in a minute.
Yeah, so it'll quieten down.
Yeah, it starts to quieten down now.
So is that automatically at 4,000? Of course, because there's no fly-by-wire on this, is there?
It's all cables.
Okay, yeah, because on my turbo it was different. It was working from where my foot was depressed against the revolutions of the engine as well. So obviously if I was cruising at, it's say on a German Autobahn at 100, 120 miles an hour, then it would actually close its valves.
Yes, yeah. And this actually, remarkably, at 80 mile an hour or 70 mile an hour, appropriate for the motorway, then actually it's quite quiet.
Yeah.
It's not too bad, whereas now it's actually really loud, just pootling along.
It's just the way we roll.
No, I mean, that's just a little bit of throttle, 2,500 revs.
And you can really hear it burbling, popping.
Yeah.
Beautiful car, really beautiful.
It's great, and it rides well. You know, you think this is on the air suspension.
Yeah.
You know, it's firm, but it's not wallowy.
It's quite comfy.
You know, you can still feel the road properly in it.
I mean, it's a Ferrari. You expect to feel it.
Yeah.
It's a sports car. Okay, let's see. It's so addictive. Look at that face. I reckon he's going through this tunnel secretly twice a day, 3 times, 4 times every day. I'm telling you, this guy in front, he so wants to be in this car.
It's like, what is that? But you know, the lovely thing is that, you know, when you're driving along like that and it sounds so incredible, but you know what, you're not really breaking the speed limit. Right? You're not going at silly speed, right? In a modern Ferrari, you'd be over 100 miles an hour.
Oh, instantly.
Right?
And it wouldn't sound anywhere near as good.
60 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's true. The limit is 60 miles an hour, isn't it? I thought.
Yeah.
Just, yeah. And is the clutch very on-off?
Yeah, it is.
It feels a bit on and off.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it feels nice.
Yeah, it's
positive, drivable.
Right? Yeah, exactly, right. But it's got a, you know, it feels almost like there's just a little bit in it where it's not and then on.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, so the burning question everybody wants to know. It's a beautiful Ferrari, it's low slung. How fast does it go? So maximum speed, 186 miles an hour. Now originally when these rolled off the production line in 1997 for this particular car, it had a 0 to 60 miles an hour of 4.6 seconds. Now this is quite a long time ago, 1997, that was a seriously quick car. So power is about 380 horsepower, 375, 380. It talks about 286 pounds-foot of torque at 6,000 revs, and obviously it revs to 8,500. Transmission, 6-speed, gated manual, and it is so much better than the automated manual F1 gearbox. It's the one to go for if you are in the market for an F355, and you've got that clunkiness and also you've got that click as it goes into gear. I mean, it really is spectacular. The only other car, and it's much cheaper and a very different car, that I really liked that had a great gearbox that reminded me of a 355 was the original Mazda MX-5. They had just got that linkage just the same, and this has got a rod linkage, not a cable linkage, which is, I believe the 348 had, if I remember rightly, and it really gives it some this wonderful throw, and you just know it's going to go into gear each time. And then you've got the gated units, which the lever slots into, and it's just the most wonderful feel. Okay, so under the hood of the is it a hood?
Yeah,
It's a very American term, isn't it? Maybe it's a front. Tesla, the front. So underneath this panel here, this is a false floor that Chris has had put in.
This is so I can get a very small bag in.
Very small.
Otherwise, underneath.
Do you have very small children? No safety latch to get out. Okay, so we've got so this is the brain for it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the manifold they call it.
Okay.
The air system, so that manages every corner, what's happening.
Right.
So it's attached to the sensors, adjusting it, as I said, in the car. The car's measuring the height, keeping it at a constant level all the time.
Okay.
So it's keeping the car flat as much as it can do, keeping the car level.
Right.
You'll also adjust it with weight going in the car.
I see. So it will counter for different weights.
Yeah.
And so these are the tanks. Chris has had these all done in leather. He's had them embossed. This is Alcantara. I mean, it is beautiful, and that's why she sits with this very aggressive stance. Yeah, really, really nice. I mean, even the car. I mean, I know that's like sort of boot build carpet, isn't it? Yeah. Acoustic cloth, but it actually matches what was being used in the 90s.
And this is it, you know. They just tried to kind of make it follow the rest of this carpet, so it just, you know, feels kind of factory. You can call it that.
It is lovely. And I like the silver badge on the front.
Little touches that you wouldn't have noticed.
Yeah. Tell me.
The fog lights and the side lights have been tinted.
And this is very you. That's your personal touch.
Yeah, it's my little touch. Just because.
And how did you tint them? Did you buy whole lights?
No, it's a laminate film.
Oh, like okay. A bit like the PPF stuff.
Yeah. Exactly, right? So it's just because those lights are the smoky white plastic that just dates a little bit. Putting that on it, suddenly, boom, modernises the whole.
Yeah, it does makes it look. And what about the back? Did you touch the back?
No, back is.
So the backs are just the red. I think they're just circular red, aren't they?
Circles, yeah.
With the white. And also, it's quite nice because on sort of the old 308s and 328s, they were orange, weren't they?
Yeah.
And it dates them. And I think they look really quite current, I have to say.
Yeah, definitely. You know, you think on all the modern Ferraris, it's still the circular light. I mean, obviously they're LEDs now. But no, otherwise, you know, little things I'm going to tidy up. I'm going to put a new badge on the back here. This is
just replace it for a new one.
From the heat.
Yeah. And also I love this. I love this grille. That's very sort of Mercedes have only just kind of clocked onto that a few years ago. Now their cars get that grille, don't they?
You can get the Challenge grille. Where it's this same material like this, but the whole panel. Yeah. But I actually quite like the solid panel.
And also, it isn't a challenge.
Yeah, it's not a challenge.
So what's the point? I mean,
it was an option. People could put on a standard car.
Oh, could they?
Yeah.
Oh, I love the struts. So yeah, it's beautifully clean in here. So seriously hot. I mean, you should feel the heat coming off this.
This is. But you know, look at this, right? You can just see the chassis, right?
The bars.
See all the bars and everything's all in here. And obviously, when this comes out, it's just the engine's just sitting in that chassis. Yeah. And the whole back chassis comes off.
And how long is it to take out the engine of this?
40 hours
in total. Okay.
So in and out. You know, which is.
That's a lot. I mean, that's kind of 2 days, isn't it?
Wow. But you know,
you see new headers down here.
Change it by taking out the fuel tank and stuff, and I've actually watched some videos on people doing that.
Right.
And actually, the amount of work involved, it's almost the same.
Where is the fuel tank in this?
Literally right at the back down there.
Okay. And these did have a bit of a problem catching light, didn't they? And is that why you have new braided fuel hoses?
They're the new braided hoses, because basically what happens is they do things like catch on these struts.
Yeah, and just wear on them constantly.
Wear on it.
So Chris has put in obviously the braided hosing all the way through, which is much more sensible. Because I think it was the YouTubers, they lost a car, didn't they?
That was Hoovy's. Yeah, Hoovy's
and
garage.
he'd given it away to somebody to borrow for the weekend, and
and the problem is there's a few points, there's a few pipes and things underneath here as well that you want to replace.
That can just perish from the heat, I should think.
Exactly.
Because the heat, you can't imagine the heat coming from this engine is just phenomenal. I mean, it really is.
It's very hot.
Really, really warm.
You know, otherwise I wouldn't do anything else to this engine. You know, it's more about letting it breathe better.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to start modifying it, do anything crazy. Just because the sheer cost involved in doing that, doing it properly, would be ridiculous. And then, you know, I want to think everything I do to this car is in a, you know, in a classic Ferrari sense.
Yeah.
Is actually better for it.
Yeah.
And not deemed as a.
It is a Ferrari at the end of the day. So what is the point in wrecking it?
Yeah. But you know, and also doing things tastefully. I mean, I've still got all of the original suspension. I've still got
all the stickers. Everything's there. I can see it's got all of the original stickers underneath. So blue Le Mans metallic.
Yep.
So Ferrari 516C is the colour on this. Oh no, I can see that. Are these the belts that you did?
Yep.
Okay. Great.
That's me.
And does it come with a wonderful leather folder?
Yes. Yeah.
Tan leather.
Yeah, and I've got the original. In the boot, you have the original toolkit.
Oh, you've got that.
So yeah, so it's got everything.
And what about a spare tyre? Do you have a spare?
No.
So do they give you gel or a pump or?
Mine might have nothing. It's just slightly foolish. But you know, I should just carry around a small little canister.
I think this is just an amazing car. The strakes down the side, they're beautiful.
So these feed the radiators. Either side.
Yeah, straight in.
Yeah. This is feeding the engine at the top.
Oh, so that's actually working as well.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
lovely. Yeah. And the glass, you can see the curve on this glass. It's beautiful. What a car. Right. Well, it's getting late. 7 o'clock in the evening. I'm very jealous of this because I have to go home in yes, that white car there. And I have to listen to this man driving this car here, so it doesn't get any worse than that, does it? I do hope you've enjoyed the video of the Ferrari F355. It is a stunning machine and we're hoping to see a lot more of it over the coming year. Please click the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like the video, and hit that bell icon so you can see when new videos are posted. All stay safe. Cheers guys, take care.